Hello, and welcome to Short, Fat, and Balding, a podcast by armchair quarterbacks for armchair quarterbacks. I am Travis, one of the hosts that will be with us today. The other one is James.
Hi. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out my headphones.
You have
All
to
right, we're
you
good.
have to put them over your ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's key.
Oh, well, instructions run clear, so they're wrapped around my dick right now.
Yeah, you should probably write a letter
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. I'll write a letter to Smokey the
Anyways,
Bear.
we're gonna do three things today. We're gonna talk about the first real taste of football, given that it's preseason for the NFL, and we got the AP preseason top 25 on Wednesday of this week. So now James has a newfound thing to bitch and moan about, which he'll get into. Um, we will subtly address some controversy post Olympics, and I will also allow James to give his review for the movie Twisters. All that and so much more on this week's episode of Short, Fat, and Balding. All right, so diving directly into it, um, James, the NFL's back, fully back.
Yeah, baby.
We're in
I'm
preseason.
here for it.
Uh, the Vikings are not back. They missed the memo. They're all out. Um,
I genuinely feel bad for the Vikings.
I feel bad for Vikings and Vikings fans.
Like,
Um, have you seen the rap sheet with them right now?
seen the what?
The rap sheet,
No.
like the list of everything that's gone on.
I just knew McCarthy tore his meniscus.
Yes, but let me. All
I
right,
knew
so
that was a thing.
it's so as of today, the
Uh-huh.
in the offseason, the Minnesota Vikings had their rookie cornerback pass away. Their starting cornerback tore his ACL the very first practice. Their other starting quarterback is out for 4 to 6 weeks. TJ Hawkinson is out for 3 to 4 months. Jordan Edison was carted off the field. Their backup wide receiver got injured, and McCarthy's out for the season.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
They had somebody die?
Yeah, their rookie running back. I think he got in a car accident.
Christ. Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah, Kyrie Jackson died in a car accident in Maryland. So that's
Is
how.
this is this like last year it started with Achilles injuries? Is this what we have to look forward to this season?
It's just complete and utter mayhem.
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
And he was a fourth round pick too, so it's not like he was,
Yeah, he
you
wasn't.
know,
He wasn't chopped liver. No, he was. He was probably going to be in the depth chart. So that's what the Vikings are going through. Um, did you have you been privy to the situation with Hassan Reddick?
hold on. We're gonna go back to Kyrie Jackson.
Okay.
At his memorial service, two people were shot.
Oh wow. Okay.
What the fuck?
There's a lot going on there.
My God. That's just wild.
Yeah.
Sorry, that blew my mind.
No, yeah, it's like an all around like everything encompassing that is like a tragedy. Um,
Yeah,
but so have you? Are you up to speed on Hassan Reddick in the drama?
I know he requested a trade in the winter,
Got the trade.
got the trade.
Went to the Jets. The Jets
Yep.
are not offering him the money he thought he was worth when he the reason why he requested a trade from the Eagles because he went to Howie and was like, he wanted Aaron Donald money and he's good, but he's not Aaron Donald good. Um, and
Yeah.
that's like reserved for like a top five defensive end, which he's a top 10, but he's not a top five in my opinion, not yet. But anyways, um, so he wanted that kind of money. Howie said no, trade him to the Jets. Uh, and then the Jets were like, "We're not going to pay you that kind of money either." And so now he is requesting a trade from the Jets. Hello,
You know what though? You fuck around, you find out.
right?
I mean, you you wanted a trade. They traded you. No, here's the thing, right? I don't know. I don't know, like, why wouldn't you get that in writing before the trade? Or why wouldn't you get that in writing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, he
if you
certainly
honestly,
doesn't have that kind of leverage. Like basically, as far as the trade goes, he didn't really have a choice where he went.
yeah,
That was all up to Howie because he went to Howie, said, I want you to pay me more. Howie was like, well, no, I just literally paid Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devonte Smith, so I don't have any money left for you, and you have another year in your contract. And he's like, then I want to trade.
he gets traded to the Jets, and they're like, yeah, we're not paying you that either.
Right.
And now he's like, I want to trade.
Correct.
Why wouldn't you just ask for a release?
I don't know.
Then you can test your market,
Right.
you know? But here's the thing too, is like now teams aren't going to want to trade for him.
Right, because he's now become an issue in the locker room.
Yep. And the Jets said, we're not trading you.
Just straight up, but the GM has also said like it's simple. Like I'm not going to trade you. We're not going to discuss your contract, and every day that you're not in camp, I'm going to fine you the maximum that I can, which is $75,000. So you choose what you want to do. So
And he's not getting paid a crazy amount right now, is he?
let's find out. He is on a 3-year, $45 million contract.
So 15 million per.
Yeah.
And
So
how much of that is, you know what I'm saying? Like, is any of that incentives?
he had a $14 million signing bonus. He's honestly mostly paid out. The only cap hit to the Jets aren't going to fucking budge. His cap hit this year to the Jets is 750 grand. They're not going to touch. They're not going to move.
And he misses 100 days, they ain't got to pay him shit.
Yeah, because
Huh?
he got 30 million guaranteed, an AAV of 15 million, but his cap hit's only $750,000. So interesting. I wonder if he'll go
There you
back
go.
next year.
When is he in a contract year?
He's a UFA after this year.
So he's looking for an extension,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, he's
I'm wondering.
looking to get paid.
I don't. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I wonder if he blew through what he had, and now he's like, I want more money.
I don't think so. I really think because he's like a hometown Philly guy.
Hmm.
Um, we like nobody ever thought that he was going to leave, and I genuinely think that he thinks he's a top three edge rusher and he should get paid like a top three edge rusher. Because you look at his contract and then you look at like Nick Bosa, and you know because he's Nick Bosa's a 5 year, $170 million contract with a $50 million signing bonus, an AAV of $34 million. So like he's $20 million up on Hassan Reddick, and Hassan's like, I want to get paid in the top end, and it's just a bad year for him to do that for Philly. I think he probably, if he had waited until he was a UFA, I think that Howie
Hmm.
would have played ball. But this year they had to lock down the big three on offense. They just had to. So like he was never gonna eat this year. You know.
Yeah, but
Uh,
it's wild because I wouldn't put him. I wouldn't put. I'd put him right around the Trey Hendrickson level, right?
yeah,
So you look at like Trey Hendrickson is borderline elite,
yeah. He's in that play. This website has him at 15.
and that's what Trey Hendrickson makes is 15 per.
He makes 21 per.
Trey?
Yep.
Oh yeah, because they just signed that extension.
Yeah. So Hassan Reddick is in the top 25 highest paid edge rushers. He's number 22. Um, the top three, and Nick Bosa is miles ahead of the. He's like not even in the. He like reset the market or something because he's 34
Yeah,
million per year. Josh Allen's the next highest at 28 and a quarter, and then Brian Burns, who I don't even fucking know for the Giants.
he's on the Giants. Yeah, he
Yeah,
got traded from the Panthers.
he's getting 28.2, and then what's crazy is at number 4 is who I think is the best edge rusher. That's TJ Watt, and he's getting 28.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett is getting 25. Montez Sweat is getting 25. Like I think if he had asked to go to 20 or 22, he probably would have
Hmm.
gotten paid, but asking to get up in the top tier at like 25, 28, he's just I don't and I'm a homer. I love Hassan Reddick. I would never consider Hassan Reddick in the same breath as Miles Garrett, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa and Josh Allen. I just wouldn't.
No. And the thing with that is too, you got to look at the teams that surround those guys.
Right.
I mean, outside of Miles Garrett, I mean, who's the big contract on the Steelers?
Are you talking about
You know?
outside of TJ Watt, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you said
What I say?
you said Miles Garrett, who's on the Browns.
Oh, I said, oh no, with the exception of Miles Garrett, who's on the Browns because they put themselves in cap hell with Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I mean, you look at those guys on the Steelers. Who's got the big contract on the Steelers?
Nobody. It's TJ Watt's team.
And then Bosa.
Nick Bosa on the
Who,
49ers, who are an all-star team.
yeah, yeah. Well, they have an all-star team, but they're not. They're paying their quarterback 20 cents a year or 20 cents for the year. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't you can afford to do that when you don't have money tied up.
29 cents a year.
That pretty much what they're paying him. I mean, he was
He was I don't think he's gotten out of his rookie contract yet.
yeah. So they're literally pay him pennies for what he's worth. It's you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like you're on a team where
Nick
your
Bosa,
offensive firepower, like don't get me wrong, the defense is great and it's a lot of young guys.
damn, Nick Bosa is the highest paid player on that team by far.
Yeah.
He's a $170 million contract, 34 AAV with 88 million due at signing, and then the next the next highest person is Trent Williams. But then you think of the big names. You got Debo Samuel. He's only getting 23 a year. Uh, Christian McCaffrey is getting 19 a year. Uh, What is Brock Purdy getting? I gotta find this out. I'm gonna go all the way to the
He's
bottom.
probably making like 800,000 a year.
Brocky. Did I miss him? I can just Google it. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is a signed a 4-year, $3.7 million contract. So he is getting paid. He only had $77,000 guaranteed. Ah! Yeah, he's getting paid this year in 2025 is the first year he'll eclipse a million.
Okay, so when you figure in he's taken his team to AFC Championship 2 years in a row,
The NFC Championship 2 years in a row and then a Super Bowl last year.
exactly, and he's barely making a million after taxes. He's making maybe 500,000.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next year when the Niners have to pay him.
Yeah, they're gonna. That's the thing with the Niners is their team is unbelievable now, but they're in trouble.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Brock Purdy is a system quarterback,
Yeah.
but he fits in that system perfectly. And with his numbers, they're gonna have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in trouble.
Yeah, they've got.
You know, it's they have to win this year or it's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna be hurting. They've got Brock Purdy, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, all up this year,
Hmm.
and then in 2026, they don't really have anybody big in 2026. Trent Williams and Javon Hargrave and Fred Warner. I lied. That's three big ones. Yeah. So they're over the next 2 years. They're gonna probably look completely different than they do now.
And that's the thing. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like Hassan Reddick, I understand wanting to get paid, but winning a Super Bowl is more should be more important.
Right.
Not to mention with the brand deals you can get. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
not, I mean, look at Caitlin Clark. She makes more than Brock Purdy
Yes, she does.
in just brand deals alone,
Did you see?
you
Speaking
know?
of Caitlin Clark, did you see like the postseason or mid-season report on the WNBA and the viewership?
No.
Let me Google that for you. It was insane.
I know they've had like the most viewers than they have in like 26 years, something like that.
Yeah, there was like a quote that I saw. The So just the Indiana Fever, her team.
Hmm.
Um, so they're at the All Star break, which is like their halfway point, obviously. The Fever, which are a shit team, have
Hmm.
led the league in attendance for both home and away games, uh, totaling an over 186,000 fans, which is a 265% increase year over year. Um, four four separate home games this year have set single game records for sales at Gamebridge Fieldhouse team store, where they've experienced a jump of 1,000% year over year in net sales. The Fever hold the top spots in the league in social media engagement, video views, followers gained, and total followers since April. The Fever have had more than 800 million video views across platforms. The team is ranked first among teams in the WNBA, NBA, NFL, NHL, or MLB in total video consumption in that span. The Fever have led the WNBA with 38 national TV games, and 10 of the Fever game broadcasts so far this season have set network viewership records for the WNBA games on ESPN, ION, CBS, and NBA TV, including the most viewed WNBA game in 23 years.
Damn.
Yeah, 3.3 million concurrent viewers for that game against Chicago, which was the Angel Reese game. So it's
Revolutionizing women's basketball.
it's changed the game. I mean, you can't look at numbers like that and scoff, which is why I don't understand like, and not to go off on a Caitlin Clark tangent, but I just don't understand the hate she gets from people in the league. Like she's the reason that people even know who you are right now.
I think a lot of it is we're not going to delve into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not getting into that. Not on here. We can have the conversation
dude. I
off.
mean, I know what you're gonna get at, but I'll say that one of the greatest women's basketball, actually two of the greatest women's basketball players of all time are white, Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. So I mean,
No, and I don't feel like it's just that, but I feel like mostly from what I've seen from like just again being on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
um, there is a lot of that dislike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I don't know why, but some of it seems to be linked to that from what I've seen.
yeah, and I think that's,
So
and I'll be honest with you, James. I think that's people who are jumping in from the outside. I don't think it's genuine people who've been following women's basketball for a long time.
that's fair.
I think that a lot of virtue signalists and without diving too deep into it, obviously, but a lot of people who virtue signal and a lot of people who like identity politics and crave on that kind of drama jumped onto this train to push their narrative. And so I think it hasn't helped the situation, but I don't necessarily think that from the start that's what it was. I think it's turned into that because of the outside people looking in.
Yeah. And I mean, to me, I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care color, creed, whatever you are, I don't care. Um, if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. I'm gonna like you regardless. I've seen a lot of that, and I'm not saying it's all that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't single-handedly, you know, put it on that. I think some of it comes from like in the league itself. I feel like a lot of the people who were, they were the big thing coming out of college, went to the WNBA, and it didn't have as much power, I guess, as Caitlin Clark does. I think a lot of it is jealousy from those players.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it is what it is. Like I come from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched Caitlin Clark's games, and I don't even like basketball. And I watched Caitlin Clark's March Madness games, and we watched a few WNBA games. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to say she revolutionized it, but like she
She
put it on the map.
she made it a household thing.
Yes, absolutely. And like if you would have asked me 6 months ago, well, I wouldn't say 6 months ago, it's August now. If you would have asked me last time at this year when we first started the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
if I could name two women's basketball players, not just like I'm talking college and pro, I probably would have said Diana Taurasi, and that's it.
Right.
So, and now after watching that, my favorite women's basketball player isn't even on the Fever.
I know you
You
love.
know,
I know who you're talking about.
Kate Money Martin, love her. She's just her interviews and stuff. She's just humble and she's a workhorse, and I appreciate it.
Moving
But
on.
yeah,
How have the Bengals looked this preseason?
um, the starters look good. They got one series. Uh, the jerseys look fire. I'm so hyped for those. Um, Overall, I mean, it's preseason. Um, I know from what I've seen, Jermaine Burton out of Alabama. He was at Georgia too, I believe. And they went to Alabama. Um, a guy with off the field issues. Didn't really deep dig too much into what he did because firm believer in, you know, every um every sinner has a future, every saint has a past.
Yeah.
Like, if he's atoned for those enough to play at Alabama, then I'll take it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they were saying he was like a first round talent, and I was like, why the hell did we get him in the fourth? And watching him play, he is all of that. So I'm really excited for him. Um, Andre Yoshibash has improved a lot, but I think you're going to see those two take over for T. But Jamar's not at camp. Or he's in the building, he's just not practicing. So it's about all I've gotten so far. Had a couple injuries, non-starters, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
keep them healthy.
Um, the Eagles played last night.
How'd they do? How are they looking?
Their defense looks really, really good. Um, the offense, it's one of those things where I hold off on offensive judgment because A, it's not the starters altogether, and B, once again, it's another new offensive coordinator. It looks good. I mean, in terms of like, it doesn't look as. I mean, you heard me bitch last year. Like there was like no inspiration. There was nothing innovative about the Eagles' offense last year, and this year, just people
Mhm.
seem more engaged, and so that's a good thing. Um,
Yeah.
and I've also been keeping track of the beat writers, and they said that Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown an interception yet, so that's also a good thing. But more importantly, the defensive line, despite having Fletcher Cox retire and having Hassan Reddick go in the direction, the defensive line looks as good as it's ever been. So that's a good thing. Obviously, with all things football, it is pending injury because they're going to come. It's just who gets hurt and when. Um,
I think honestly the Vikings are just doing it for the whole or for the whole league this year.
yeah, they're just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
That's
They're
fucking
like, you know what? We're not going to have anybody get hurt mid-season. We're just going to do it now.
yeah.
But
Let's just let's just make all the season ticket holders sad as their resale value plummets.
but
Speaking of which, I would like to do a little fucking friends of the podcast little tidbit. Okay, so people who listen to this podcast, stop getting shit on Ticketmaster. So, obviously, Ticketmaster, it's the official fucking whatever of the NFL and all other sports. So Ticketmaster fucking blows, okay? So, let me give you a side by side comparison. I don't know if I told you yet, but me, Chelsea, um, the family friend, but also like basically sister slash cousin Julia, and her boyfriend Johnny. We're gonna go down to Philadelphia in December for the Steelers at the Eagles.
hmm
We knew it was going to be a pretty penny because it's an in-state rivalry game and it's later in the season, so there could be shit on the line. But
yeah,
long story short, we started looking at stuff. Upper fuck yourself seats, 270 on Ticketmaster, 275 a pop, plus a $97 processing fee per ticket. So I said that's fucking stupid, and I
so
went.
you're flirting with $400 a ticket for sitting on the moon.
I'm flirting with yeah exactly. So let me just tell you what actually happened. I said fuck that, we're not doing that. I'm not. We'll wait if I have to because we've already booked the Airbnb. Like we're gonna go to Philadelphia no matter what. If we have to
Yeah.
fucking do whatever, we gotta do whatever. So I went into the ticket exchange pages on Facebook,
hmm
and I started conversing with a couple different season ticket holders, and we managed to get section like 247, row 14. They're beautiful seats. They're like halfway up the stadium at like kind of like a 45-degree angle overlooking everything.
hmm
150 a pop, no fee. So I was originally going to pay $400 a ticket for 4 tickets, and I got better seats without a processing fee for $600, all 4 tickets. So if
That's wild.
you can get onto Facebook or Reddit or any of the communities around fans and people who follow the team, like that's the place to get really good tickets for. I say cheap, like obviously 150 a ticket isn't cheap, but given what it, if you had probably gone into Ticketmaster, those probably would have been like $500 or $600. So like consider that if you can't be one of the first people on the tickets, go into those like fan exchanges and you're gonna get a deal. Plus you get a hard copy of your ticket, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like she's mailing us the tickets, the actual physical tickets. So and I
Okay.
already looked into it for like the Rangers, and like the even that's better. Like there's I can get 200 level tickets there, which are usually $400 or $500 for like $150, $125. So like, just do that.
Yeah.
That's the end of my rant.
The- A $97 processing fee is ridiculous.
It is. It. I could. I say I could see a $97 for the whole transaction. I can't, but like that at least in my head feels more reasonable than $97 per ticket. For what? What service are you providing me that is worth $97?
I could see I could see $80, $20 a ticket.
Right.
I could agree and get on board with that, but 90, that's no. That's an extra $400 for no reason.
Yeah, it's exactly. And at $400, that goes straight into Ticketmaster's pocket for fucking what? Like, no, you don't need that kind
Yeah.
of rate to be a fucking middleman.
No, they can kick rocks.
Exactly. So, 2 cents. Try and find an exchange
I
until
like that.
until the government cracks down on Ticketmaster. It's coming.
Yeah.
But which is weird because I'm not a big proponent of like government interference in business, but when it comes to shit like that, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Like if they should have
When
to
you're
justify
when
it.
you're purposefully robbing customers, yeah.
Right, and especially when they're like a glorified monopoly because they just with what they do with music, like Ticketmaster, they have partnerships with venues. So like if if artists want to go on tour and go to like good sized venues, they have to go through Ticketmaster because the venue won't book them if they're not booking through Ticketmaster. Blah blah blah, and then Ticketmaster has this partnership with every fucking major sports league where they're the official ticketer of that league. So to get guaranteed tickets, you have to go through Ticketmaster because while we have StubHub and stuff like that, like there's a risk that those are fraud tickets or whatever. So there's a risk inherently involved. So to be safe, you have to go through Ticketmaster, and then Ticketmaster forces you to pay this fee that for what? Like, like they should have gotten all their money up front when they signed the fucking deals with all these leagues. Like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
It's just retarded. I shouldn't have used that word.
No, but I'll allow it in this situation. All right. End rant. So you want to talk some college football now?
I do. It's your turn to rant. So, um, the AP Top 25 came out. It's officially time to warm up your marching band.
Love it.
For those of you that were tracking, James and I looked up the tickets for Ohio State at Penn State and have opted out of that game. It is not cheap to go.
Nope.
So we are not going. But the rankings are out, and I am going to list them off. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up because as we get higher, you're going to get more angry.
Quick question while
Yeah,
we're here.
yeah.
Who who is Nico a fan of again? Who did
Oh,
we tell him he liked?
Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I was just curious. I couldn't remember who he
So
liked.
we did that specifically because it gave him a year to watch him before they joined the Big Ten, and then now he's part of the Big Ten with the rest of us.
Perfect.
So number 25, the between the first and second quarter they do the wave Iowa, like the Children's Hospital wave, or is it the second and third quarter,
Yeah.
or the third and fourth quarter? Sorry,
I think
it's
it's I think it's right before I think it's right before the fourth.
okay. So it's between the third
Could
and
be
fourth
wrong.
quarter. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Iowa Caton Clarks.
Yes, the Iowa
Yeah.
Fighting Caitlin Clark's. Yep, They're number
I'm pretty
25.
sure they they're also benefiting from Caitlin Clark still. They're like, yeah, football team may be okay.
Iowa's number
Haven't
two.
been good ever, but
I made the joke because they dropped on their postseason ranking to the preseason ranking. They dropped a spot, and my
mhm.
joke was that the only reason they lost a spot is because the brand of football they play is so fucking boring.
Yeah,
They just got demoted because of that. Fucking, you're gonna
great
watch.
defense, no offense.
Yeah, you're gonna watch a thrilling 10-3 football game. Um, Number 24 is North Carolina State. They dropped 3 from their postseason ranking, but I still think it's generous to even put them in the top 25. I mean, I think last year was a bit of a fluke, but maybe I'm a hater.
Yeah.
Um, Number 23 is Southern California. They're another team that I don't even think should have even been in there. I think they get bias every year. I mean, they're in the Big Ten, so shout out. But I mean, they had a better roster last year in an easier conference, and they didn't do shit. So wow, like what? How could it? And they opened up the season against LSU. Like, how was there an expectation for them to be a top 25 team?
They're in for
Yeah,
a rude awakening. And I want to say that now, like all these teams coming into the Big Ten, like you look at teams like Penn State who had 2 losses last year.
and they were to Michigan and Ohio State,
Yeah,
and they
like
were
and
both
they had
close.
and they had one of the nation's best defenses. Like
Yeah,
you're walking in to like Penn State gets overlooked because of Ohio State. Like in Michigan, you're walking in,
that's
you're
why.
not going to be what you were.
That's why I
It's a
said
whole different brand of football.
I hope this year they do 2 whiteouts because I know they're going to do a whiteout for Ohio State. They always do it for
Hmm.
whoever's on the road, who's ever visiting them between Ohio State and Michigan. That's always the whiteout game. That or if it's Notre Dame. But this year they've got Oregon coming in, and I really think they should save it for that game or do it twice because that would be a fucking welcome to the Big Ten if you get the whiteout game at Penn State. Because I mean, I'm not
Oh,
a
yeah.
I'm not a Penn State fan. They're a rival, but I mean that's one of the greatest traditions in college football. That whiteout is fucking insane.
And their stadium is tough to play at,
Yeah,
as is. And on a whiteout night where the kids have been drinking since fucking
the night
2
before.
a.m. on Thursday,
Yeah, exactly.
you got to go in on Saturday,
They
just
can't.
a bunch of hammered, drunk kids,
They,
all wearing all white.
they canceled class on Friday just so they could be even fucking more rowdy.
Yeah, like no classes Friday. Go get drunk. Like that's not. You don't want to walk into that.
Yeah.
I
So
think I can't wait to see how they handle like these teams coming in handle the Big Ten.
yeah, I think Oregon will probably be the best out of all of them because they've been playing big ticket teams for a long time. But
Yeah,
USC they've kind of had a weak schedule. UCLA, quite frankly, has no fucking business being in the Big Ten. Um, the Washington is on a down year, but I think that they'll settle in, and then obviously Oregon's Oregon. So, um,
yeah.
but moving up, number 22, Kansas. Shout out! I think it's the first time in a long time they've been in a preseason top 25. One of my favorite logos in all of college sports. I love that little Jayhawk. Uh, Number 21 is Arizona. They dropped 10 spots from their postseason ranking, so clearly they fell off. I don't know. The Big 12 doesn't impress me, so I don't really know what they're offering. But
Yep.
2019, 18 respectively, Texas A&M at 20, Miami at 19, 18 is Kansas State.
Those all seem fair.
Yeah. Yeah, although I feel like every year fucking Miami's ranked in the top 25 and then loses their first game against nobody.
Yeah.
This year they're playing Florida to start the season, so
Hmm. You see what
Florida's
happens.
fallen off, man. They haven't been in a preseason top 25 in a long time. I feel like it's been like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, Kansas State's a team that's like consistently like 15. I feel like every year, every time I look at them, they're 15.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State 17. Oklahoma is 16. Is it? Is this Oklahoma and Texas's first year in the SEC? I think it is. Or
It
is
is.
yeah, because I see it says Southeastern under their logo, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Man,
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens there.
15 is Tennessee. Good for them.
Yeah,
I like seeing Tennessee succeed. I don't know why. I think I just like their. I think I just like their like uniform. I think I like their that color orange. Um, Reminds me of
that's how I feel about the number 12 team on this list.
Utah
Yeah, I like seeing them succeed. I don't know why.
because they're like a like I don't want to say irrelevant, but they're like a school that you're like, they could do good. I don't care.
Yeah, let them in
Um,
the top four. Fuck it.
14 Clemson, 13 LSU. That LSU USC game. If LSU doesn't beat USC by fucking 5 touchdowns, they're trash. Um, Number 11, Missouri. Missouri's a program that's been on the up and up. I feel like they've been kind of climbing at a steady rate, and I absolutely dig their stadium. I like Mizzou's setup. Um, Number 10, one of my favorite fight songs, Florida State. Number 9, The Big House, Michigan.
Do you have feelings on that?
No, I think that's perfectly fine. They lost their head coach.
Really?
They lost their head coach. They lost the vast majority of their talent. Not that Sharon Moore isn't a good coach. I just it's a transition year, and I don't really know who they have left.
Fair?
I think leaving him in the top 10. I think if they had dropped out of the top 10, that would have been ridiculous. But I think leaving him in is fine.
Yeah.
Number 8, Penn State, another Big Ten team. I'm fine with this too. I mean, we just talked about it. You know, it's pretty much Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. That's the Big Ten, and then Iowa does something. Um,
Yeah.
Number 7 is Notre Dame. I'm considering them to be a Big Ten team as well because
They
no,
need to just come home to the Big Ten.
nobody fucking cares at all about anybody. Maybe outside of USC, but USC's in the Big Ten now, so like it's fucking it's a match
Yeah.
made in heaven. But like regionally speaking, they're a Big Ten team. They're in Indiana, like
Yep. They play Big Ten style football.
yeah, and like their biggest games of the year are always like when they play Ohio State or they play Michigan or they play Penn State or they, you know, and then they have their USC game every year. But who the fuck cares about that? It's not what it used to be. It's not the Matt Leinart Brady Quinn matchup.
Yeah.
Um,
They need to come home to the Big Ten.
they do, they do. Number 6, we're getting into that SEC core that's gonna get fucking James all riled up. Number 6, up 3 spots from their postseason ranking. Ole Miss. Starting out
This
the
feels
season,
generous.
yeah, starting out the season against the always tough Furman University.
Yep. Oh, challenge right out of the gate, you know?
Yeah,
Fucking SEC.
you gotta just you gotta prove yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Which I will give credit where credit is due when we get there, but Ole Miss, that's classic SEC shit. Along with number 5, Alabama, who is playing Western Kentucky on week 1. Real tough.
You know what surprises me about this, though?
What?
I was 99% sure this was going to start out Georgia, Alabama.
I think a lot of
Just
people
in
were.
my head.
But
Like,
you got to remember, dude, Nick Saban retired.
yeah.
So what Alabama is this?
Tell you what, not going to be, mark my words here, not going to be in the top 25 by the end of the season.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. Alabama knocked out of the top 25 for the first time in, I think, over a decade.
I think ever.
Um, Number 4, the perennially overrated team, Texas.
Yep, they'll be back down in the 15ths when they where they belong.
Yep. At
Just give it a
least,
few weeks.
at least they're playing somebody of merit and playing Colorado State. So
Yeah.
they're gonna put Deion Sanders Oh no, he's Colorado. Never mind. Colorado State's the Rams. Um, Number three, the Ducks of Oregon. They're playing the University of Idaho, who I don't even know if that's a Division One school. They might be an FCS or FCS school. I don't know. Division One
Sounds like
AA.
a community college.
Right. Um, they're coming out of Coeur d'Alene, but whatever. They got to warm up. Um, so Oregon will be playing. They're number three, which is it's fair. I mean, the only reason they didn't get in the national championship last year, um, as far as I'm concerned, is because they played Washington, and Washington was just as good and was better than them that night. They were easily one of the top three teams in the college football last year. Um, Number two, and I'm gonna make fun of Ohio State too for playing fucking Akron. That's loser shit. Actually, Fresno State's fine.
Yeah, they play Akron.
Yeah. 15 votes for one overall though, so I mean they're getting some respect. I don't even know who you guys have.
We have a bunch. I just don't know the whole coaching situation because everybody's just leaving.
Right.
So
Um,
we'll see what happens.
and then number one, which credit where credit is due, they are opening the season against Clemson, so that is going to be a top 25 matchup on week one. Plenty could
They
go
must
wrong.
listen to the show.
They must.
They must.
It is your dogs, the University of Georgia, and
It seems fair. I I just I don't know. Like I don't get too worked up over preseason shit. Now, when Alabama comes out and smacks the absolute shit out of Western Kentucky and they move into the top four,
yeah,
then I'll be pissed.
yeah, like when Alabama beats Western Kentucky by 55, and then Georgia only beats Clemson by 3, and then they move Alabama above Georgia.
Yeah, that's what's gonna piss me off.
Yeah,
That pisses me off more than anything. It's just the ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it, it just pisses me off. But don't worry, we'll get sure plenty of that this year. So voters are fucking idiots. They need to just give me a vote. Just give me a vote. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, we should get a
I'll
vote.
even,
We're in the press technically.
I'll put Ohio. I won't give Ohio State a vote at all. I won't even put in my top 25.
You'll
That's how unbiased I'll be.
you'll abstain.
Just give me a vote.
Well, if that's the case, you can't vote for Michigan either.
Oh, trust me, I would never vote for Michigan.
See, that's my point.
Michigan will be like ranked last. Like they just blew out the number two team. I don't even give a shit. Fuck
And,
them.
and in James Burke's poll, Michigan is ranked 134th in the country, despite being 8-0 and having beaten 4 ranked opponents.
Yeah. Did you? Well, the real question is, did you see Eastern Western Mississippi University Community College put up 7 points on Michigan?
Right.
Like they deserve to be number two, as far as I'm concerned.
So you're really not that upset about this top 25? That's unfortunate.
No, I have opinions. I think some teams are ranked a lot higher than they should be, but again, preseason stuff I don't really worry about because once we get going, there'll be plenty for me to be upset about. You know, all this is just like when they put out polls for like who do you think's gonna win this event at the Olympics? Nobody really gives a shit yet.
Yeah. And also, the greatest team in college football isn't even on here.
Who's that?
Wyoming.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
What's that one college that they decided they won the national championship a few years back?
I have no idea.
They bought rings for everybody. It was like UCF or something like that.
I have no idea. I know that James Madison is, I think, once again ineligible for the postseason because of their jump to Division One. But they have an absolutely beautiful stadium. I drove by it on the way to my parents.
Hmm.
It's right. It's literally right off 81. You drive like almost through it, and
Oh,
it's
really?
yeah. I mean, it's beautiful.
Huh. Good for them. They were the ones last year that couldn't play in a bowl game, right? Even though they were like
Yeah, they were like.
actually really
I
good.
think they only had like two losses, and they were both to like top 25 teams. Um, yeah, and because it's their first year, it was their first year up. But like people were, they tried to get a waiver because they. I forgot what the reasoning for it was. Why you're ineligible for bowls your first year or your first 2 years after moving up, but yeah, they tried to get a waiver and they couldn't get one, and so they're ineligible
That is
again.
a, that is a gorgeous stadium.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know what, James Madison University? You got fans here on the show.
Fucking what's their nickname? They're purple and gold, which is kind of hot.
Purple and gold just reminds me of high school. They are James Madison University Dukes football team.
Right, the Dukes.
So
Yep.
they're the Dukes.
Not to be confused with Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And they play at Bridgeforth Stadium.
they do.
Playing surface is named Zane Shoper Field. I'm gonna buy a hat. Fuck it. So yeah,
We'll get a JMU helmet to put up on the wall.
hell yeah, hell yeah. Or do they join? They joined the FBS, right?
Yeah,
That's what it was because they were D1 before. They were just in the FCS.
yeah. See, we gotta go look. Google their fucking helmets and look at their white helmet. The white helmet sucks. Also, the matte black with the bulldog on it's kind of cool too.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, just threw my phone at my mic.
Nice. All right. Final topic of the night: Olympic drama. Um, did you watch any of the gymnastics?
No,
You got no respect for one of the greatest American athletes in the history of sports.
I barely watch the Olympics.
All right, that's fair. So, anyways, the way gymnastics works is the first couple days there's what's called the team all around, where
Hmm.
each country puts up like they send up their three best athletes in each. I can't think of what it's called. Skill, I think it's what it's called. But I mean, like there's like the balance beam and there's the uneven bars and there's the floor routine and that kind of shit in the vault. So
Yeah.
those four events they sent up their three best. So the U.S. won gold there. Then the next event is the individual all around where you compete individually in every single event, and then the top person there um, wins out, and that was Simone Biles, and then Suni Lee got a bronze. But the drama occurred in the individual competitions, which is the last bit of the competition, where through the team and the individual all arounds, you can score over a certain level and qualify for the event final. And so,
Hmm.
in the event final for the floor routine, the it was very very tight. It was between the Brazilian girl won it because Simone Biles had like a busted ankle and she fell or she stepped out of bounds. I can't remember exactly what happened, but she got silver. The girl from Brazil got gold, and then the U.S.'s Jordan Childs and Romania's girl. Originally, Romania's girl had won the bronze, but the U.S. appealed because the judges didn't take into account a skill that Jordan Childs had done, and that would have added 0.2 of a point to her total score
Mhm.
because she executed it. And so they appealed. The judges granted the appeal because they noticed that, and then she got the bronze instead. So then afterwards, the Romanian delegation appealed after the awarding. It was like
Mhm.
24 hours after, or whatever, basically saying that, and this is what pisses me off, is that while the judging error was correct and the judges did miss that issue, the window for appealing was over by 3 seconds by the time that the appeal had gone through. Therefore, it shouldn't have counted. And then the governing body of gymnastics granted that appeal. So Jordan Childs had to turn in her bronze medal after having already come home with it. And then they mailed that bronze medal to the Romanian girl.
Fuck you, Romania. Shut the fuck up. Just sit down and let the only cool thing to come from Romania be Dracula. Like, you're not cool. Shut up. It was 3 seconds. I could have sex with my wife like 3 times in that time span. Like, what do
Right.
you
And also, like, if I'm the
why
Romanian.
is,
No,
go ahead.
say it.
Why the fuck is this Olympic committee just not know the rules?
Well, they did know the rules. They enforced the rules. That's what I'm saying. Like, if that she
If they would
won
have
on
done it
a
right the first time, it wouldn't have been an issue.
true, but that's the judges. That's not the committee.
Yeah.
Um, but like I was saying is that if I'm the Romanian girl, like I don't want to win a bronze medal on a technicality. Like
No.
if I should have lost because the judges didn't account for a skill that my competitor did, that would have given them a 2/10 addition to their score, and then that was accounted for. So by all accounts, you literally did lose. Like you did not perform as
Yes.
well as she did, given the skill set scores and the multipliers. So you did legitimately do poorer than her, and the only reason you get that bronze is because they didn't appeal fast enough. Like I wouldn't want to win by that. I could see if they granted her points she shouldn't have gotten, but that's not at all what happened. If anything, what the IOC should have done is the IOC should have stepped in, and they've done it before where there's been controversies like this, and just awarded 2 bronze medals and be like, you know what, we fucked up, the judges fucked up. It's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. So you each get a bronze. Then everybody's happy.
Seems fair. Yeah. Seems fair. I don't know. I just, I'm looking directly into my camera. It's turned off. Biden, if you're listening,
Why is it Joe Biden's fault?
we need to go to war with Romania. And then when we're done, just hand them a giant bronze medal and tell them to fuck off. And then everybody hops back on our AC-130s and flies back over here.
Okay.
Romania's not big. It'll take a week.
So speaking of what you just said,
Yes. You
are
mean declaring war on a country over
because
a
of
bronze
something
medal?
that happened in the Olympics, yes.
I'm
So
listening.
are you familiar? Do you know who Hassan Piker is?
Is he an Olympic gymnast?
No, he's a political commentator on Twitch.
No.
Okay. Well, he is a political commentator on Twitch. He is a leftist. That doesn't matter. What matters is that so the men's basketball team won gold, and he's a
Yeah.
huge basketball guy, huge basketball guy. People in his chat were trolling him, saying that LeBron James got dunked on, and he starts losing his mind. He's like, no, 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 that's not what happened. He was stationary outside of the circle. That's a charge. The stupid French referees didn't call it a charge because it was in France. My boy did not get dunked on. I refuse to accept that. And then he like pulls up the video, and you can see that LeBron James is like probably almost a full foot outside of the circle, like the you know what I'm talking about, like the little like half circle underneath the basket. That's like
Yeah,
if you're in there, it's a charge no matter what because you shouldn't be that close.
yeah.
He was outside of that. He was stationary. Like it definitely was a charge. And then he goes, as far as I'm concerned, this video right here is enough evidence to put sanctions on France. I was like, you are so out of pocket right now.
That's you know what the Olympics is the great unifier, but I also think it should be a powder keg for World War.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Put it
if
all on the line,
Romania ever
homie.
gets invaded, they'll call the US and be like, "We need help." And we'll just be like, I don't know, strap that bronze medal to your chest. Maybe it'll stop a bullet.
Yeah.
Click.
Be like, why don't you talk to Jordan Childs about that?
I was actually talking to my wife and I was like, what if we just took all the presidential leaders, like all the country's leaders, and anybody who has a war, we just put them through an Olympic style test.
Yeah.
Like get a spinny wheel, Russia and Ukraine have their issues, right? Just spin it, and if it lands on like, I don't know, fucking bobsled, we say, all right, you each get a month, strap them into their bobsleds. Whoever gets the fastest time, 3 out of 5, wins, and then the losing team just or whoever loses just hands the country over to the other country.
Perfect. That's perfectly
Yeah,
logical.
yeah. Although U.S. would be Chinese by now because Joe Biden would show up to the bobsled in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, I thought
What?
this was beach volleyball.
I thought we were
Like, we're in
surfing.
fucking, we're in fucking Serbia. It's fine.
um, Random shout out because I discovered it when I was looking up the James Madison helmet. There's a website called greengridiron.com that allows you to take the helmet and put your own, and they will assemble it for you, but you can put a custom face mask and a visor on it, and they'll send it to you.
I'm here for it.
Yep.
I like that.
Overall, I have the James Madison matte black with the Crown Bulldog helmet with a light gold accented face mask and a gold visor. It's kind of hot.
You need a purple chrome visor for that.
They don't have a purple chrome one. Oh, I lied. They do.
That's
All
weak.
right, purple chrome added.
There you go.
Doesn't change the price at all. Two
Goodness.
$239.97 for that, which doesn't feel too terrible since it's custom.
Yeah, that doesn't feel bad at all.
I'm gonna
I'm
gift
here
you.
for it.
I'm gonna gift you a Michigan helmet for our first live studio one.
That's cool. We can also burn it live in studio. End up burning down the fucking studio.
Don't be a fucking
It's fine.
hater. You can even
Minor
pick, dude.
details.
This site you can even pick the different helmet styles. Like they have the Rydell Speed Flexes and shit.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this site's sick. Granted, the Speed Flex is expensive as fuck.
Well, yeah.
Michigan Wolverines Rydell Speed Flex helmet. Oh, this is national champions as well. Maybe I'll get you that one. $799.99.
Yeah.
Without the national
You can watch me.
championships logo on it, it's only $770.
That's not bad. Burn it.
Is it authentic? Oh, it's like a legit helmet. That's why it's so much.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
not.
that tracks.
It's not the one that has like the little fucking plastic blip in the middle of it. That's like, don't wear this.
Yeah, please don't wear
This is
this.
like a legitimate Rydell Speed Flex. You can
While we're
wear.
talking about memorabilia,
Yeah.
I seen somebody selling um signed jerseys today on Bengals bids. It's like a community page.
Yep.
They were selling 2 signed jerseys because they don't have a Bengals logo on them and they wanted to wear them. Ladies and gentlemen, do not ever wear signed jerseys. Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
That's my PSA for the day. Don't do that.
James,
If
can
you
you?
can't afford it, sell it and buy one.
Are you
They're a
looking?
hundred
Are
bucks.
you looking at your screen right now?
Yeah.
Look at this. Pop in here and just look at how pretty this is. I genuinely may purchase it.
That is sexy.
Yeah. The Kelly Green with a silver face mask, dude. Only $279. And you can use the fucking like the PayPal payment plan if I wanted to. Break it into 4 monthly payments. It's kind
With
of
a
hot.
Chrome USA flag decal.
Yeah, right there. And it's got like a legit chin strap.
America.
It's not even like a soft one. It's like a real one. I'm gonna save this. All right. Anyways, anything else before we head off for the night?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, it was a
Go
pleasure.
watch Twisters. Fantastic movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot to get you your fucking thing there. My bad.
It's fine. It's okay. Just go watch it. It's a fantastic movie.
There you heard it here,
That's all I
folks.
got.
Go see it.
Okay, go see it.
I'm gonna go see uh, Deadpool, and I'm also gonna
See, when
send
I went.
you a trailer for a movie that Chelsea just introduced to me, and I think that
Hmm.
you and your wife would very much like to go see it. And if you guys do, we can make it a double date. It's not coming. I don't know when it's coming out. Um, but I think it's very much up both of your alleys. So I'll send it. I'll send it your way and tell me what you think.
Beautimus. See, they're making a Borderlands movie.
It's terrible. They made it, and it's terrible.
Oh, have you seen it?
I don't need to see it. I've seen enough of it.
Yeah.
I've seen about between all the clips and things that I've seen about 30 minutes of the movie. Number one, Kevin Hart as Roland is a mistake. Roland was supposed to be
Yep.
huge, and he's not funny. And so why they made him a short comedian is beyond me. Especially when they like, I would have even accepted The Rock. Like I would have accepted that. He not like Roland's black, but I would have accepted The Rock. And then
Yeah.
to have Lilith, who's supposed to be like this 20-year-old sex goddess power bitch, be Kate Blanchett. Nothing against Kate Blanchett. She's a beautiful woman, and she is a power bitch. I mean, she played fucking Hella real well, but like it just doesn't fit what Lilith is supposed to be. So like they just fucked those two castings up. And then when I saw that Jamie Lee Curtis was in the movie, I was like, no, no. The
I will
only
say Jack Black as Claptrap.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
okay with that.
yeah, but like Jack Black is good. The girl who plays Tiny Tina, she's great too. Like there are good castings, but they just fucked up a lot of it, and it's also really campy, from what I've heard and seen from like the clips. I'm just like, that's not like they tried to do the Borderlands style humor that applies to like game logic in the movie, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. I as someone who lives and breathes Borderlands, like
It's got a
I've
nine
played
percent
everyone, beat everyone.
9% on Rotten Tomatoes for a tomato meter, but it has a 52% audience score.
Yeah, but again, that 90% is probably all critics who have never played Borderlands. They're like, "Oh, it's a comedy movie. It's really good." And I'm like, "That's not." I
Yeah,
mean,
like this guy, this critic right here, like you can tell he had never watched or never played Borderlands because his review says the heroes snipe at each other relentlessly and rarely appear to be enjoying each other's company, which makes it difficult to buy them as an eventual surrogate family, even a dysfunctional one like the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's not what's supposed to happen in Borderlands. They literally are together because they have to be.
mhm.
They don't become friends until the end of the movie. They will fucking hate each other the whole game.
Yeah,
But
like it's it's dumb. I'm pissed. It looks like somebody like read the Wikipedia page and was like, "Good enough."
yeah, like this guy said, really good cast performing a very bad movie. Special effects were good. I think it just, I think, and then I think they tried to get too much of the game's charm to translate to a movie, and like that's one of the things that has struggled for games. People who try to adapt games is they think that because games are already a interactive media, like and there's voice acting and things like that they can just like take what was in the game and put it in a movie, and you can't because you're playing a game, so your experience with the medium is much different, which is why things like Fallout that went a totally different direction and just kind of had like little nods to the movie or to the game, or
Mhm.
something like The Last of Us, which took the cinematics from the video game and then bore out story around it and sort of wrote around that. That's the way you have to do it. You can't do a one-to-one translation. So that's
No.
that's the end of it for
Like
me.
Assassin's Creed was a major fail.
That they dude, don't. I'll be here all night on that one. I'll be here all night. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that movie?
That's what I said as I was watching it. I was like, what the fuck is
When the
this?
first time I saw the Animus in that movie, I almost threw up. But this is not a
Yeah,
video game podcast, so I won't get into it.
that's why I decided immediately I'm not seeing Borderlands.
Yeah.
I was like, they're not ruining this game for me.
Wait for it to come out on a fucking streaming service and then just accept the fact that it's going to be shit and watch it while you're eating popcorn and tacos.
I don't know if I'll get through it. My love is too deep. It's like, oh, I don't know. It just feels like if the Bengals got rid of Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and brought in like, I don't know, uh, who's a trash quarterback in the NFL? Kenny Pickett and I don't know, some mid-tier wide receiver. It was just like hyping them up the way they did Joe Burrow. I'd be like, no, like you've ruined football season for me, so just stop. That's what it would feel like. I can't. My love for Borderlands is too deep. Even if someone sat me down and said, "Here's $100, watch this movie," I would probably just say, "Keep your money and walk out."
Right.
Like I was huge into Assassin's Creed. Watched the movie and then was like, I don't even want to play this fucking game anymore. Like they're not gonna ruin this for me. They're working on a Borderlands 4. You're not ruining this for me. Love Kevin Hart, not as Roland.
Yeah, love Kevin Hart, love Jack Black. I just don't want to do it to myself.
Nope, 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 nope. But that's all I got.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll catch you in the next one. Maybe Nico will care to join us.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
We're really not losing.
And then we
Oh,
are.
golf video coming soon.
Yep, and we're also only 2 weeks away from our preseason spectacular.
Yeah, we're gonna need a while for that one. It's gonna be a long episode.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe planning it around like a Saturday and then just recording it on not on our typical day, obviously.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Maybe doing a two-parter.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I'll catch you around.
All right. Shalom, Ashaleka.
Bye.
Bye.